stand out.
You smash Angela Yee?
Okay.
Of course not.
Why you said of course not?
I'm saying, come on, guys.
Security.
There aren't that many times rappers make themselves look like a joke, but in these cases, these rappers truly embarrass themselves. Of course, one of the craziest yet saddest moments in No Jumper history has to be Boonk Gang's chaotic interview. From the moment he came to the set, Boonk was visibly intoxicated, stuttering, losing his train of thought, and repeating himself.
What's up, bro?
Adam, make sure I deliver them to you, Adam.
How you living?
Adam.
You f***ed up?
He said, make sure you get me to Adam. What's up?
Adam even tried to wrap things up in the middle of Boonk's mumbled messages, almost pleading with Boonk to save the conversation for a time when he's sober. But Boonk had other ideas.
Boonk Gang is up right now. I've been up for the past 3 weeks.
Because I would like to do an interview when you're sober.
Nah, you don't want to do an interview when I'm sober. I may not have the hiccups from it like this.
After reflecting, Adam, who's seen his fair share of chaotic interviews, actually went so far to call this the worst interview in the show's history. That's saying something. But what we should all take away from this segment is the fact that, while the interview was a disaster, it seemed to serve as a wake-up call for Boonk.
Right.
So I feel everything. I ain't want to be on here on like dysfunctional and then people think I'm on some other shit.
Since then, he's made a transformation. Now, going by John Gabbana, he's turned his life around and moved away from the persona that drove him into such a dark place.
I'm sober.
You're sober right now?
Yeah.
Like really sober, or you're like trying to be sober?
No, I'm sober.
Okay.
Sober.
Unfortunately, while Boonk eventually tried to improve his lifestyle, this next interview does not have a silver lining. Because if we're talking about being high on interviews, we have to talk about Juice WRLD. You see, Juice WRLD's bout with substance abuse is one that's highly publicized, to the point that Juice himself was candid about his substance use, even during interviews. So fans knew he was on something. But the extent of his habit didn't really hit until one interview where things got surreal. You see, Juice fell asleep mid-talk, assumably due to how high he was.
Describe that single and that track that we're playing right now.
Forced to continue with the interview, someone tapped him on his arms and asked Juice to talk about his hit record.
Hey, give me a little bit on Lucid Dreams. Describe that track to me.
My apology.
Sadly, compared to Boonk's interview, this incident didn't become a fruitful turning point for Juice. In fact, things only went downhill from there. On December 8, 2019, Juice WRLD was headed back home to Chicago, but the trip would turn out to be his last. Authorities had already been tipped off about his private plane carrying illegal items, including contraband and firearms. The police were waiting for him at the airport, and as soon as the plane landed, authorities boarded the search, and Juice panicked. Knowing what they might find, he decided to swallow a bunch of Tic Tacs, but what he didn't realize was that this would be a fatal choice. Because while officers were still conducting their search, Juice started to have a seizure, collapsing as everyone around him tried to figure out what was going on. Tragically, he overdosed, and it was too late to save him. Now, our next crazy moment not only shocked viewers, but also raised serious concerns about the artist behind the music. This moment came during a reaction video on YouTube with Zeus and B. Lou, where he visibly struggled while reacting to Super Gremlin music video. During his time with the host, Kodak appeared noticeably high.
It's your boy Zeus. Hey Lou! Got my boy Yak in the building, man.
Tired. Nah, tired, that's what I see.
Okay.
You're like tired, like they dead. And they dead like flies. Flies everywhere. They dead.
And fans quickly recognized that something was off since Kodak continued to twitch throughout the interview.
A lot of people don't know. That's for your Instagram name comes.
Yeah, look, cause they know get 1K. I got tatted on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me. So like, this is like one of them ones like that I like even like.
His erratic movements and constant nodding off were alarming signs, indicating that he was in a dangerous state. Unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse, because just a few months later, Kodak went live on Instagram, and well, the footage of him going live was nothing short of alarming. The rapper struggled to stay awake. However, the problems didn't stop there, because just as recently as 2023, Kodak would do the same thing, going live on Instagram while being visibly out of it.
Man, listen to this shit, cause this shit crazy. I'm saying that I just roll with the punches, man. And I've been rolling with the punches too long. I've been rolling with the punches too long.
Viewers commented on his state, with many worried that he had been laced. Fans also questioned why he was being filmed while being in that state, expressing their fears for his health. And this troubling behavior led to an arrest for suspected fentanyl use after he failed the drug test. However, after his release on bond, Kodak had an emotional breakdown on Instagram Live because of a cruel fan comment telling him to stay in jail so he could sober up.
What kind of person are you? This one, you need to go back to jail and sober up, Yak, for real, man.
Thankfully, Kodak regained some stability and was reported to be in much better condition after this incident. But Kodak's struggles with drugs and alcohol did not surprise anyone, to say the least. His battles with addiction were well documented, even going back as far as 2021. That year, Kodak appeared on Off the Record with DJ Academics, and in his interview, Kodak candidly confessed to struggling with meth.
Me and Stevie, like, we were eating ice back then, boy. You know what I'm saying? We on ice back then, wide open, fried out here. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like ice, like
regular ice.
Cause you know, popping miles.
And that wasn't the only time he talked about his meth addiction. In an ironic twist, Kodak even discussed how grateful he was that the law actually caught up to him. Reflecting on his struggles, Kodak hinted that he was caught by the feds at the perfect moment.
I done told y'all with them. I done told y'all for hold me later. I ain't around speaking to y'all, homie. You be on land right now. First off, died. That or have been dead by now.
And in another moment on No Jumper, Kodak was asked about his claims about his past use of prescription pills.
You was exaggerating when you said 100 perks, or you was for real, like on 100 perks a day? How you weave off of it? How you?
Now, shifting to one of the most controversial people in the world today, in one of the wildest episodes of Drink Champs, Diddy made an unforgettable entrance that left viewers talking for all the wrong reasons, especially when you're in the loop of the news surrounding him. Now, while the previous entries all had the merit to be dubbed as embarrassing, this next one might be one of No Jumper's most embarrassing interviews ever. In what appeared to be a normal interview with Adam, Lil Dump, a rapper connected to NBA YoungBoy, was in the middle of answering a question when suddenly this happened.
Anything in particular stand out?
This incident quickly spiraled into a moment that had both fans and Adam concerned. However, Lil Dump's unsettling behavior seemed tied to something beyond just nerves or an upset stomach. According to the rumors, he was likely dealing with the effects of taking too many pills, although he initially avoided directly confirming it during the interview.
So what just happened? What just happened?
Something deep in life that, you know, I'd rather not talk about it, but
it looked like Lil Dump was suffering from some heavy personal problems, saying,
I can talk to you about it personally as a person, you know what I'm saying? But some, you know, things deep in life.
So it looked like he was trying to tell Adam that he could talk to him about it privately, not on air. However, Adam wasn't really getting it. Instead, he pressed him more.
But I'm just talking about you puking, or like the fact that you're kind of drunk, right?
But Lil Dump stated that he wasn't even drinking.
No, I ain't drunk. I'm sober.
You're sober? No alcohol.
He even showed Adam that he was just drinking water at the time.
That's not what's in that cup. I just kind of assumed it was alcohol. Oh, okay. So what are you going through right now?
Just some deep things.
However, Adam pushed on and tried to clarify if Dump was trying to get clean.
You trying to get clean? You're trying to get clean?
Get clean.
To which Dump responded,
off of some other
yeah, type at the same time.
Not long after this interview, Dump appeared in another YouTube video where he admitted to a girl that he had been taking too many substances.
Why are you standing like that? Like, stand up straight, you gotta be louder, like.
I do more drugs than
me
you
too.
could ever imagine.
That's not, okay.
I know.
This statement only made fans more worried, showing that his substance abuse issues were far more serious than many had initially thought. And once again, unfortunately, things still do not look good for Lil Dump, because as recently as April 23rd, 2024, Lil Dump was hospitalized after reportedly taking the wrong medication. But intoxicated rappers on camera aren't the only ones providing the world with crazy interview moments, because some artists use their time in front of the camera to bring the heat. So let's talk about rappers that have outright called out other artists or the interviewers themselves during interviews. Starting off with Beanie Sigel. Now, right off the bat, you can tell this guy doesn't really like Charlamagne, because when Beanie hopped on the Breakfast Club, you can clearly see that he was already pissed off at the host, Charlamagne.
That looks crazy, and when you think
quiet, Charlamagne, shut up. What's up?
When the discussion shifted to Meek Mill and Beanie Siegel's issues, Charlamagne talked about loyalty and opportunities, seemingly trying to provoke Beanie to justify his actions.
I know you say I'm not qualified to speak on it. I'm just observing it, but it just seemed like, you know, loyalty with you lies with who's providing you opportunity at the time.
But Beanie didn't waste any time shutting Charlamagne down, telling him straight up that the host was way out of line.
Get the out of here, Charlamagne, man. Provide me, what loyalty, with who? He ain't provide me no opportunity. He ain't called me and asked me to do that. I did that.
Charlamagne kept on pressing, but Beanie's patience was clearly wearing thin.
Did we did not just answer that?
But you knew he wasn't. You said he was. You didn't think he was real when you was in the studio with him.
And Beanie explained even more by using an incident with Kanye West, saying,
all right, put it like this. Is Kanye a street?
Absolutely not.
Huh?
Absolutely.
But when Kanye put that phone call in, you know the stories. Who was there?
He explained that in the battle, he was to stand his ground.
So I took penitentiary chances. I could have got booked out this motherfucker. He put the call in, I was there, strapped tooth to nail, ready to bust ass about the cause he a part of our family.
But Charlamagne didn't seem to get it, which Beanie promptly pointed out, telling Charlamagne,
you understand what I'm saying?
Now, for people that don't know,
you don't. How you don't understand? Because you know why? Because you not from that cloth.
Mom, that's cool. I don't get it.
You not. That's why you don't understand that.
Now Charlamagne might be aware of this, but he didn't fully grasp the seriousness in Beanie Siegel's voice. So Beanie let out his frustrations once again.
You might not think that, and you're not qualified, dog. You're a rated personality, man.
That is
you
a
don't
fact.
come from my world. You don't come from. You wouldn't understand my world.
And made it clear that Charlamagne and him were very different from one another.
You don't come from my world. You don't know nothing about that.
Nah, I don't.
Yes.
And when Charlamagne tried to speak up, Beanie wasn't having it anymore, saying,
stop running your fucking mouth, man.
I don't want
Stop running your fucking mouth. You shouldn't. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
He then said that Charlamagne wasn't prepared to deal with someone who's gone to war with the police and who's faced attempted N-word charges in the prime of his career.
No doubt.
You talking about somebody who went to war with police. It's dangerous. Attempted murder in the height of my career. It's dangerous. You don't know nothing about that, man.
Beanie's advice to Charlamagne: stick to the role of radio host and play it safe.
No.
You sit up here and your job is to play games. Play with something safe, man. Don't play with me.
Now, another entry for rap's most embarrassing interviews is when Skinny from the 9 almost lost his cool, big air quotes on almost, during an interview with Craft Culture. See, if you've been following Skinny, you'll know that he's had a reputation for a few controversies, one being his snitching allegations. So, right out the gate, the interviewer wasn't exactly going easy on Skinny. In fact, the first thing he did was hand Skinny something symbolic.
There you go.
What's this?
That's for you. You know, just in case you get hungry throughout the interview, that's for you.
Cheese?
However, you could tell from the start that Skinny wasn't exactly entertained by it. After the cheese gag, the interviewer shifted topics to a statistic about women's satisfaction rates in the bedroom, saying he had a real statistic to share.
I want to read you a statistic, okay? This is a real statistic. Ready?
He then explained the major problem of men in the bedroom, saying,
63% of women ages 22 to 39 have reportedly stated that the #1 factor of which oftentimes leaves them dissatisfied in the bedroom is due to a lack of rhythm and consistency of motion from their male partners.
Then, as if that wasn't awkward enough, the interviewer suggested that someone should make a song with the perfect beat for guys to follow in the bedroom.
What if there was a song specifically for having sex, and all these guys had to do was just follow the beat, right? And the beat guided them to have that consistency in the bedroom.
Skinny, visibly uncomfortable, asked,
right? You with me?
What you talking about?
Finally, after that weird detour, the interviewer began to ask what seemed like real questions. He asked if Skinny's former manager, Poker the Jew, was still representing him.
Poker the Jew, still your manager?
Poker, that's my Poker. But nah, we not on no business terms, but Poker, he decent.
At this point, it seemed like the interview might actually be moving in a better direction, but the calm didn't last. Soon, the interviewer brought up a more personal subject, Skinny's Bell's palsy diagnosis, which caused facial paralysis on the left side of his face.
Interview, you have trouble drinking even, you know, and sometimes I was wondering if it affects your ability to speak.
Skinny then tried to open up about his situation, saying,
like, I can still rap, I can still talk, I can still drink.
Yeah.
But it's like,
he explained that while he can still rap, talk, and even drink, his face sometimes freezes randomly.
So I'll be rapping, I'll be drinking, I'll be eating, whatever I'm doing, you feel me?
Yeah.
It just comes out of nowhere. Like my face will just get stuck. Like
that's when things took a nosedive. The interviewer dropped a cutting joke, implying that Skinny's paralysis might be the reason why his music had been bad lately.
So that explains why your music sounds like.
And that was basically the start of the end for the interviewer. Skinny was done playing along. He fired back, saying,
"Boy, keep playing with me, man. I'm this disabled. I will still smack out of you. None of y'all. You understand? Your whole stab."
And Skinny didn't stop there. He went on to say that he'd scrap with the whole crew, the cameramen, and anyone else on set if they kept disrespecting him. And really, it's no surprise that this interaction escalated as quickly as it did.
Smack the smack cameraman, smack this goofy this. All to get smack. Press play on y'all. Stop playing with me.
All right. The interviewer quickly backtracked, trying to defuse the situation, but by then, Skinny was fully heated.
That my boy.
All right.
Why? What's up? What I do to you? Security.
But this next interview got way more intense, as it features a viral moment where young Vudoo lost his cool and took a swing at the host of the Trapland podcast, Coco Show. So what exactly happened in this interview? Well, young Vudoo and Coco Show used to be on good terms, but halfway into the interview, Coco Show started going off on young Vudoo, calling him a cloud chaser and questioning his street credibility.
Oh, you trying to act tough for the internet, so you pulled up to a crib that I'm not even at. To spank you. Exactly where his ain't no street. Been not from the hood.
According to Coco, Vudoo was just another rapper acting tough online. And Coco claimed that he even let Vudoo off the hook because if their beef escalated, it could end up in someone losing their life.
On my soul, the only reason why I left you alone and left you rock, you know why? Because if me and you go at it, somebody gonna die. On my soul. And you're cutting your look.
To top it off, Coco taunted him, saying that nobody's ever stepped up to shut him down, and then Vudoo finally snapped. And I can't play the clip, but let's just say things got physical. Right after the interview, Vudoo hopped on Instagram Live with his friend Relly to explain his side of the story. He told Relly that Coco offered him $100 to play along with some disrespect on camera, which Vudoo accepted at first. But when Coco started talking about his family and claiming that things could get deadly, Vudoo felt like the line had been crossed. Apparently, Coco didn't realize that he was talking about Vudoo's actual blood cousin, someone he's close with and wouldn't let be dragged like that.
Peep this, right? Because you know who my cousin is. My blood cousin, Caked Up.
Caked Up? Oh, nah, that's my heart.
Yeah, that's my biological cousin,
nah,
right?
Coco, it's over. I gotta choose a side. It's favoritism.
Nah, listen.
Vudoo admitted he'd originally planned to stay calm and let Coco do his entertainer thing, since Coco was trying to rile up the audience.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't know Coco was really built like that because, like, when we was debating it, Coco's an entertainer. Knows how to draw an audience.
However, when Coco doubled down with his disrespect, the beef continued, and Vudoo felt like enough was enough.
I'm like, if he never used that word "suck my" thing, but he kept his shenanigans going, you would have seen me look stupid in the interview. Coco was really cooking me. The interview wasn't long.
According to Vudoo, Coco officially crossed the line when
he said if "suck my" is gonna die. Bro, I don't want to hear nothing after that.
In the end, Coco seemed to want to escalate things even more, hurling insults and dragging Vudoo's family.
Started a war. But okay. Yo, look, Ben, your mother can suck my, your fat nasty can suck my, like, yo, what?
But intense and confrontational interviews aren't limited to male artists and hosts. Sometimes even women get heated as well. This was exactly what happened when singer and love and hip hop star K Michelle turned a routine interview into a heated showdown with Angela Yee. K Michelle didn't hold back, and for many, it was a shocking but well-deserved call-out. But what exactly happened, and why was K Michelle this angry? Well, just a week before the interview, Angela had interviewed rappers Mano and Uncle Murda, and during that segment, things took a nasty turn. Out of nowhere, the conversation had veered towards some very personal allegations about K Michelle, with Uncle Murda bluntly claiming that there was an issue with her body parts. Angela, instead of steering the conversation away, leaned in, laughed, and let the banter flow.
Now we had Mano and Uncle Murda up here too, K. And they were saying your vagina stink.
Yeah,
they said your vagina stink.
So can I smell? Just to get a little.
That wasn't Mano saying. That was Uncle Murda saying that.
I have a feeling. Didn't you smell before? Try to smell before?
I don't think so.
That was exactly the reason why K Michelle confronted Angela Yee during her guest appearance at the Breakfast Club.
I was just there.
Yeah, but what I am gonna say, Angela, is that even with you, you're a woman, and I think I've been very cool and very supportive of you.
She said that she felt betrayed.
The interview was over and the credits were running. You brought that back up.
And made it clear that she lost all respect for Angela, accusing her of ignoring basic girl code and stirring up drama at her expense. She confronted Angela head on, pointing out that as a woman, Angela should have considered how these allegations could affect her personally and professionally.
But you are a woman, and no woman wants a body, and no woman wants nothing like that on them. So they wasn't even talking about that.
But it didn't stop there. K Michelle dug deeper, calling out Angela again.
You brought that up, and then you was being all instigating. When he said he'll sleep with me, you was like, ew, you nasty.
According to K Michelle, Angela's behavior made her no better than Uncle Murda and Mano. Fortunately, fans largely sided with K Michelle, saying that she had every right to defend herself against what she saw as shady behavior.
You knew my album came out the next day. You didn't know what legs that boo was gonna take. You get what I'm saying? But thank God people know me, and people actually was looking at those It's like, oh, them some cornballs.
Angela, on the other hand, has hinted over the years that K. Michelle's outburst was all for a TV drama on Love and Hip Hop. But regardless of what you believe, that moment was one for the books. Now, while some guests handled the Breakfast Club's unpredictability with patience, Nicki Minaj was not one of them. During her promo tour for her second album, Nicki stopped by the show, and from the beginning, she made it clear that she expected the red carpet treatment. The host tried to impress her, even starting the interview with offering breakfast, but Nicki wasn't impressed at all.
Not even the right turkey bacon that I eat. I don't eat this one. I eat the real crispy one. I don't eat that brand.
They initially talked about her new perfume, and at first, Nicki was all fun and games.
Tell us about this perfume line that you also have.
Oh, well, I have a nice... Did you smell my perfume yet, Angela?
Yes, I
No,
did.
you didn't.
Yes, I did. I promise I did.
But you didn't buy it.
I stay up on it.
But
He even jokingly said that Angela was a hater for not buying it.
You didn't buy it?
Not yet.
Okay, you a hater.
Because I didn't buy it yet.
You a hater because it smelled mad good.
It did smell good, though. I will say that.
So
I just did the little spray test and everything.
But why did you even spray test it if you wasn't planning on buying it, if you liked it?
On the other hand, Angela reassured Nicki that she was supporting her other products.
I show support, though, because I did buy the Pink Friday lipstick, and I will.
You did?
Now I'm going to make sure I go out and buy it. But yes. And
No,
I actually
I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you a perfume. We might have an extra one today. But
That's what I was really hoping for.
I know.
And as the show was about to take a break, Nicki asked DJ Envy what song he was going to play.
And what music are you playing? Oh, don't cut this off.
This is the part I love. See, this is the part I love.
Let's see how much juice you got, son.
When we come back, we got to pay some bills.
We're going to play high school.
When we come back,
We not only gonna play high school though.
However, things escalated when Nicki realized that they hadn't properly prepped for the interview.
And y'all, that's what I don't like about y'all New York people. Y'all,
There you
y'all
go.
D-Rod stuff that got a big name on it.
This is what
There's
I love.
other great records on it, so let's go. Let's go.
She directly called out the team for not queuing up her tracks and not familiarizing themselves with their latest work.
Like stop. Y'all need to start trying to break records and start listening to people's music.
I mean, that's the DJ. That's the DJ's job.
But it seemed like the host didn't even realize that Nicki was actually getting frustrated at that point.
when we come back, we're going to get a Nicki Minaj record on. She said so. That's why. And
You ain't got the heart.
I bet you
ain't gonna do it.
I bet you I do.
Okay.
What Nicki Minaj? What you want to hear when we come back, Nicki?
Why?
So Nicki pressed on the matter, asking,
Why y'all don't have the songs queued up though?
What we gotta pay bills first.
Okay, but I want to hear High School. I want to hear Hell Yeah. I want to hear I'm Legit. I want to hear Up in Flames.
continuing to let out her frustrations. She kept calling them out and implied that they don't even support her, saying,
If you don't even know these songs, you guys do not clearly don't support me, neither does Clue, but that's neither here nor there. But those are the songs that I would like y'all to play.
Her feelings were more or less justified. To her, she came all the way there to promote her album, but they didn't even have her songs queued up.
I don't understand why I'm coming to radio and y'all don't even have my songs ready to be played.
And when the other hosts started realizing that Nicki wasn't playing around at all, Angela Yee started to point fingers.
Wait, hold on. That's the DJ. Look at Envy when you say all that.
Fortunately for DJ Envy, Charlamagne was there to save him, saying,
Envy actually has the clean Roman reloaded re-up album.
Thank you.
He does have
Then
it.
let's start.
We will. We got to pay bills when we come back. Let's do it.
Well,
It's
that's the
Breakfast Club.
main focus.
And we have those records.
But at that point, the damage had already been done.
Yes.
That's the main focus of the kid coming to the radio.
Now.
When the kid come to the radio,
Now.
the kid comes to hear her songs on the radio.
That's right. Now I got Nicki back now. See the ball in this bitch.
Now, when it comes to crazy interviews, Soulja Boy doesn't really need an introduction, as he's known for always speaking his mind and will go off on anyone who tries him. And that's exactly what happened when Soulja Boy made an appearance on Everyday Struggle in 2019, where DJ Academics led the questions. Halfway through the interview, Academics began poking fun at Soulja Boy's Gucci headband, something Soulja was often seen wearing.
Hate on me because I'm rich, I look better than them, I probably they like me, I'm a pretty, I look good, I'm sexy. It is what it is. That Gucci headband.
But that small comment was enough to let Soulja off. He responded by pulling out stacks of cash, letting Academics know he was anything but broke, saying,
You know what, this is a war now, because y'all keep clowning me, I'm gonna wear it even more so y'all can keep talking. I love it, bro. I love you need to I love when y'all talk. I can go back. Oh, is that Drake? Oh, hold up.
For the rack shadow.
Oh, shit. I can go by.
And to make his point even clearer, he told Academics he could go out and buy more Gucci headbands if he wanted to.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, 30 of these headbands, bro.
But that was just the beginning. You see, Soulja was clearly upset, as he felt that DJ Academics was trying to clown him, that he was treating him like he was washed up. So the tension kept building as Soulja started calling out Academics for downplaying his achievements, even threatening to him if he didn't start showing some respect.
Nah, y'all gotta face it and y'all gotta respect me, bro, or I'm slapping.
Soulja went on to call Academics a hater, frustrated that the conversation kept focusing on what he hadn't done instead of his achievements. In his eyes, Academics was intentionally trying to drag him down.
I need the label behind me, so I signed a deal. Yo, you just you a hater. That's not hater. You try to pull up the behind it.
He even pointed out how major artists had taken inspiration from him.
Now, everybody know Drake stole my flow, bro, and that's the end of it.
He took a line from you and you took the same line from a.
However, the feud wasn't just contained to this show. A few weeks later, Soulja took to Instagram Live to keep the roast going. He trolled Academics once again, saying,
I got a hot dog for your fat stupid. I got 2 hot dogs in a bowl of chili for you to get off my with your fat stupid. Academics, I got 2 hot dogs for your fat. I know you hungry.
And he didn't stop there. Soulja also went live to go after other media figures, including DJ Vlad, Say Cheese, and Adam 22, even calling out World Star and CEO.
I feel, huh? So that's how y'all feel. Adam 22, you don't get your. Don't you, boy? Adam 22, you's a pedal. You little girls. Here. World Star, y'all CEO dead. Out of here, ain't funny. Say Cheese, you drive pink car. You.
Next on this list is hip-hop's favorite uncle, Snoop Dogg. Now, Snoop Dogg might look like someone who's all fun and games, but this incident shows that anyone could lose their temper. So let's take a trip back to 2011 when Snoop Dogg gave Norway one of its most unforgettable interviews. You see, Snoop had flown over to promote Adidas, but the real highlight came when he was 5 hours late to an interview. Now, it might have been normal for Snoop, but it wasn't to the interviewer. So the interviewer decided to press him about it when he finally arrived. The reporter asked,
5 hours late here. And
Man, shut come on, man.
No, we just saw you on Twitter from the border.
About 5 hours late. I'm here. Be happy I'm here.
Snoop, of course, didn't appreciate the comment, and almost immediately, he shot back, making it clear that this wasn't the direction he wanted the conversation to go. The interviewer, maybe not reading the room quite yet, followed up, asking,
I was just wondering why you were so late, and I saw you were twittering about you being stopped at the border.
I was late because I went to go get some chicken wings. That's why I was late.
This time, Snoop got even more direct. He hit the reporter with a list of reasons that made it clear he'd come to enjoy Norway on his own terms. First, he said he was late because he wanted to get something to eat. Then he said,
because I wanted to go see Norway up close and personal and visit an old folks home. I went to a convalescent home. That's why I was late.
You can clearly see the annoyance on Snoop's face, but that didn't stop the reporter from trolling him even more.
How's the partying changing?
I don't party.
At this point, Snoop's patience was exhausted, and he eventually told the team to find another interviewer. Now, let's get into an interview with 6ix9ine that many found disrespectful and even disturbing. In the segment, 6ix9ine openly dissed multiple deceased rappers like Nipsey Hussle, Pop Smoke, saying,
"Die lacking, Nipsey died lacking, Pop Smoke died lacking." Right, so can't lack.
His message, in his view, it was all about survival. In other words, by framing these tragic passings as lacking, he made it clear that in his world, getting is a consequence of not being vigilant enough. However, Tekashi wasn't the only rapper that had no filter when speaking his mind. You see, 50 Cent was never one to shy away from crazy interviews, and most of the time, he was the one instigating things. Just like that one time where he brought up some extremely self-incriminating things. You see, while 50 Cent was discussing about feuds and legal fees, the interview somehow shifted to the cost of putting a hit on someone. 50 Cent, not caring about the consequences, went ahead and said this.
Look, let me ask you a question. How much you think it would cost to kill somebody?
Nowadays, couple stacks.
5,000.
Yeah,
4,000.
couple stacks.
Why would it cost so much to go through the court proceedings?
However, when it came to throwing shade at Puff, 50 also made sure to poke fun at Diddy's sus behavior throughout the years.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
That's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like we need to party. What is he talking about?
Instant has gone off.
When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable.
50 let Diddy know that he wasn't into whatever freaky things Diddy liked, just like the time when he brought up the infamous moment when Puff asked him to take him shopping.
Get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what the What'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding.
So when Angela Yee tried to downplay Diddy's offer, 50 was quick to clarify it. But the Bad Boy Records mogul wasn't the only rapper 50 Cent disrespected live on air. I mean, just listen to what he said about Nick Cannon dissing him in a song.
Nick Cannon did that song, Used to Look Up to You, and he said that was about you.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you want that. I don't know if you want that problem rapping with Nick Cannon, Phil.
I would never respond to Nick Cannon.
If you thought that was all you was gonna say about Nick Cannon, you'd be wrong.
The camera's on, right? He's legendary corny. He's been corny forever, like from the very beginning. I thought at one point he was headed somewhere that was like in the Will Smith-ish, kind of, because it was comedy stuff like that, and then it just never got to its destination. Like, it just never got cool. Like,
if you're wondering why 50 was throwing shade at Nick Cannon, because Nick Cannon also released a diss track aimed at Eminem, and we all know how tight 50 and Eminem's relationship is. So if you dissed Eminem, 50 went after you too.
Yeah, if he did a good job, and he did great in Drumline.
Drumline was dope.
He did good in that. Like, I believed him.
With Nick is a great businessman. He just, the only thing that makes him look corny is his rapping.
Yeah, I don't know why he's so passionate about it. Like he's, what the hell's going on?
But if you think that 50 Cent would have been satisfied with just downplaying Nick Cannon's rap career when he called him corny, that wasn't the end of it.
Bro, look, you suck, bro. You suck, bro. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. Like, there's never a moment where you said something and we was like, ooh, bars.
But at least when he sat down with the Breakfast Club, you could tell that 50 enjoyed being interviewed by the trio. However, what happens when 50 Cent gets mad at the interviewer? Well, when 50 Cent hopped on an interview with Speedy Morman to promote a TV series he produced, he made it clear to Speedy that he was only there to talk about the show and nothing else. So when Speedy Morman got sidetracked and tried to get 50 to talk about his beef with French Montana, 50 instantly let Speedy know he wasn't someone to play with.
For sure. 50, I guess I'll get you out on this. It seems as though it all started with playful banter. It still seems that way to me, but what's up with French? Are you guys cool? Are you not cool?
I don't really have interest in it. Like, that's not...
He downplayed the beef and let Speedy Morman know he wasn't interested in the topic, but the host insisted on pushing the subject. He even went as far as asking 50 about a rumor on the internet, and as you can guess, 50 was not happy about it.
There was rumors that you snuffed him in a club in Miami or something. Is there any truth to any of that?
No, there's no truth to that.
Okay.
After 50 denied the allegations, he still felt a certain way towards Speedy for asking the question.
I do a thing like that.
I don't know, I wouldn't put it past you.
Why would you think that way? Would you think Will Smith would do that?
I
can't believe you would say these things about me.
I'm not saying them about you. The internet said these things.
Would
about
you? I think this guy right here would have.
The tension reached an all-time high, and 50 had enough. So he ended the interview right then and there as he walked out. Next, we have another legend in the rap game, DMX. Unlike the previous entry, DMX's interview appearance saw him just ripping artists who he saw as corny. See, DMX was never known to hold back. And when the time for him to sit down with the Breakfast Club for an interview came, it was no different. And it was apparent from the very beginning that DMX was not there to act fake and make friends, as he didn't mince words when he gave his thoughts about the current rappers. For example, when Charlamagne asked him for his honest opinion on Rick Ross, this is what he said.
Lyrically? Absolutely. I feel him. I'm not gonna say lyrically, but I feel him.
You just said lyrically though.
He's not a great lyricist. I feel him. Yeah. No. He's not a great lyricist.
We're talking about lyrics.
I feel him.
Of course, DMX couldn't help but drop a joke that made fun of Rick Ross's weight.
Rick Ross looks more like Biggie.
Rick Ross got lyrics though.
But after Charlamagne tried to sell Rick Ross's lyricism onto DMX, you could tell he wasn't feeling it at all.
Well, I guess.
So DMX,
you gotta love DMX.
Now for you,
I'm just not impressed, man. Real talk. I'm just not
impressed. So who
impresses
DMX right now? Anybody?
Me.
Okay.
J. Cole is nice. J. Cole is nice. Lyrically,
However, when he tried to sneak Rick Ross into the conversation of rappers that impressed DMX, he said this about Rose.
He's alright, man. He just talk about eating and girlfriend too much. How much can it eat? How much weed can you smoke? Huh? Like, alright, let's talk about something else. I know you got a Maybach, you got the Aston Martin. Okay.
After that, Charlamagne tried to bait DMX into saying something about Wayne, and of course, DMX didn't bite.
What do you think about Lil Wayne?
We got a good relationship.
I think everything you said about Wayne is exactly everything you just said about Ross is what I think about Wayne.
Yeah.
I think all he talks about is smoking weed.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of nothing.
I said we cool.
But the wildest part about DMX's whole interview was when Angela Yee asked about his thoughts on Drake.
What about Drake? You like Drake?
No.
My man.
He didn't even say a little bit. He didn't even say halfway.
That's my guy right there.
No.
That's why X is necessary in the game right there.
Okay. Now why don't you like Drake?
I don't like anything about Drake.
Mom,
I don't like his voice. I don't like what he talks about. I don't.
See, I be trying to tell
his
these
face. I don't like the way he walks. Like nothing. I don't like his haircut.
Of course, being one of hip-hop's biggest instigators, Charlamagne the God had a field day with DMX's answer.
But listen, that's why DMX is necessary. You know why? Because when you got these legendary hip, this is why the game has gotten so whack. You got legendary hip hop figures who just give these guys passes.
Yeah.
Who don't say anything. Who don't say it's okay.
No dudes, nothing.
It's okay to say, yo, this dude is whack. I think he's whack. It's okay to say that. That's
too much politics.
It's too much politics. You don't gotta act like you like something.
Honestly, if DMX was still here, he probably would have loved the civil war between Drake and Kendrick.
What? Gulping and burping.
Oh my God.
And for those that don't know what that means, sucking, you know.
They got it.
So by now, you probably know that the Breakfast Club is home to some of the most controversial hip-hop moments live on air, and some of the most embarrassing. This is especially applicable when it comes to guests throwing shade and just being confrontational towards Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Angela. And this was the case when Ray J came to the show. You see, back in 2011, Ray J called the Breakfast Club and started to cuss Fabulous out, as the two allegedly got into a fight in Las Vegas. So, while the story was blowing up, Ray J decided to give the radio show a call to explain a side of the story, leading to one of the most infamous meltdowns in Breakfast Club history.
All I'm saying is, if you got Fab number, tell that to send a picture of his face right now.
Ray J was implying either one of them got the beats and it wasn't him.
I swear to God, he running from me right now. I had 100 fools outside of Moon right now. He never left the club. He was scared up in there. He tried to call the police.
So when you, what did he do, Ray?
Nothing. He fell back because he's a sucker. That whole team.
On the other hand, I'm sure that you're surprised to see that 2 Chainz is on this list, since he's always been known as a really chill dude with no enemies. However, he wasn't always like this. One notable instance of this was when Jack Thriller, a host and comedian, kept name dropping him, which in hip hop is a bit of a touchy subject. 2 Chainz of course had enough, and their beef built up to an explosive phone call that went down as one of the most intense podcast exchanges ever.
Never stop. I don't never stop being a rapper. I don't give a fuck about what I'm doing. I don't give a fuck in the bathtub. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. I'm always hip hop. That's just me. And if you're a comedian, you can't. What you tried to do was out thug 2 Chainz on his game.
And if that was enough, Jack Thriller also called 2 Chainz out in an interview with DJ Vlad and said he joined the Illuminati.
Well, nigga, I don't what you too. So I went up to the nigga at the rap fix and shit, and he saw me that I was in the green room, and he whispered to his homeboy in a very bitchified voice.
You might think that Charlamagne is the biggest instigator when it comes to interviewers, but Nor also had his fair share of moments. You see, Nor brought Jack onto Drink Champs in an attempt to instigate 2 Chainz to respond to Jack's comments. Finally, this would be where 2 Chainz lost it and let Jack know what was on his mind.
Chainz, what's going on? We calling you live on the podcast. This NRE.
Yo, what up, man?
What up? I know what it is, kid. What's happening? All right, you listen. I told this nigga Jack Thriller he's standing right here and you know what I'm saying? But he tried to say he punked you and shit. Is that correct? I know you told me you f***ed me up, so I know you f***ed him up. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Nor already knew that this would lead to a heated exchange, but the Drink Champs host still kept going.
Oh, let me hold on. What now, bro? All right, Jack.
Yo, tell him Combat said what up, man.
Combat Jack is here. He got nothing to do with this bullshit. All right, but Jack Thriller's here, and he talking about some old beef with you. I told him, I said 2 Chainz official on Jack Thriller.
Hey, listen, Chainz.
Yeah, he want to squash it with you.
I want to talk to you. I want to
talk on the mic as well.
I don't have no words to say to bro. I see, bro. But anyway, bro, I don't have no, bro.
Hey, listen. No, we need to talk, dog.
Yeah, I'm good, my nigga. I love you, my nigga. I'm gonna hang up.
Yo, Chainz, you gotta come on the Combat Jack show.
I'm gonna hang up. Combat Jack show.
Combat Jack show.
At first, 2 Chainz said that he didn't want to waste energy on Jack, but it got way worse after Nor didn't hang up the call.
Go ahead, Chainz. Go ahead. What?
Doing that shit for y'all, bro.
Right.
That nigga doing that shit for y'all.
Cause he wasn't that in Atlanta, right?
Listen.
Was he that?
That smoke, man. No BT Award run. Come there, want no smoke, man. What is he talking about, man? I don't even y'all type of. You a dog, boy.
Oh. Hey, listen, Chainz.
Hey, boy, listen to me, boy. Don't ever mention me again in your life.
And it got even worse.
Hey, boy, you's a dog, nigga. You's a boy. You's a your mama's a. If you got anything that you got with blood in it, it's a. When you sitting in on site, I'm tired of you. You hear me, boy?
Hey, 2 Chainz.
That will really happen. No brother, boy.
Hey, 2 Chainz. You need to take a chill pill right now, dog. Cause you got me, y'all. I ain't even.
Go ahead and look at Nora's face. That's the look of a man who just egged 2 Chainz on to go off on Jack Thriller live on air, which is forever going to be part of Drink Champ's craziest moments. So now, we've already covered quite a few interviews that occurred on The Breakfast Club in this video, so let's go over a few more, shall we? Now, one of the most revealing interview moments in their history was the time when Logic was a guest on the show. In the interview, Logic opened up about his troubled family, from recounting his mother's complicated and contradictory behavior to describing the harsh experiences he endured in school. Logic didn't hold back in sharing the details. At one point, he reflected on the disturbing reality of his mother being prejudiced despite having children with black men, and he mentioned that his father, though doing better now, had been a long-time substance user. For Logic, witnessing addiction firsthand and seeing his mother in abusive relationships made him determined to avoid substance use altogether. However, Logic seemed to have gone lost in his emotions, because his personal stories just went from revealing to straight up exposition during something that most people would never have the guts to share. However, Logic's transparency didn't stop there. He expressed how, for him, experiencing so much pain and misery inspired determination to find a different path. However, Logic's transparency didn't stop there. He shared how, on top of his difficult home life, he also faced racial confusion in school. His mother would call him all sorts of mean things at home, and while at school, he received the opposite of that. As Charlamagne pressed on, the conversation got even more personal, as he asked how Logic's family felt about the way he shared their experiences publicly, especially mentioning the incident with Logic's sister. Logic revealed that he had spoken with his siblings about it, but he remained cautious about the stories he told, balancing his right to share his perspective with his respect with their privacy. He used one of his songs, Gang Related, as an example. The song, he narrated from his own POV, but consciously avoided sharing details that weren't his to share. But as the interview went on, it looked like Charlamagne couldn't get over the incident regarding Logic's sister. And at that point, Logic was clearly uncomfortable with revealing more than he felt was appropriate, which, if you've watched this far, was a lot. He made it clear that some stories were simply too personal for him to share. Next up, we got Nelly. You see, there's always something unforgettable when two big personalities clash on camera. And one interview that definitely deserves the spotlight happened on The Breakfast Club when Charlamagne the God had Nelly as his guest. And the interview kicked off great. They were discussing his career, the challenges of staying relevant, and him being around for a long time. However, Charlamagne didn't exactly warm up the discussion here. Instead, he tried to push Nelly's buttons. For example, he poked fun and lied at how Florida had admitted to borrowing elements of Nelly's style, saying,
Flo just said he admitted to stealing your style, and he said he got his muscles up too. He wanted bigger muscles than yours. Yeah.
Do not believe that. Do not say that. Because you know Nelly gets riled up. Don't get him riled up. Because he did. He looked at me like, word? Verify this?
Fortunately, Angela Yee was there to calm things down, and Nella immediately gave his respects to Flo.
Nah, he gave you respect. He gave you big respect when he was
No,
there.
he's a cool dude, man. Like I said again, it's enough room for everybody to do their thing, man. Definitely with social media the way that it is, you can touch everybody at one time, so it's a beauty.
Angela then reminded everyone about Nelly's past, saying,
I know when you were younger, everybody always said that you were kind of hot-tempered. You said you got kicked out of a bunch of different schools and everything. So Charlamagne could have really just did something right now. But I'm sure you've calmed down.
I guess back then, Nelly wasn't really the type of guy you'd like to mess with. But according to him, he had been able to control his anger, but not all the time.
I mean, we've learned to pull it back to a certain point, you know what I mean? You know, retainers are retainers, so we make sure we keep them.
To which Charlamagne jokingly responded,
Oh, I'm suing. Please don't hit me. You own part of the Bobcats. You got bread.
But as the interview unfolded, Charlamagne didn't seem satisfied with Nelly's calm responses, so he tried another approach, saying that he was cold musically.
Don't think just because Nelly's cold out here musically, he don't got no money. He got bread.
Why are you calling him cold musically so much?
I mean,
now see, this is why I don't like. No, Nelly, let me tell you something.
He got his image.
Nelly, Nelly, let me tell you something.
However, to Charlamagne, he was just being honest, and he encouraged his co-host to do the same.
When Angela and we have this conversation all the time, they say Nelly's not out here musically. Now that he's here, y'all gonna act like that?
So Angela and DJ Envy tried to explain themselves, with Angela going first, saying,
I definitely didn't say that because we had a conversation. I said
we talked about
I said the songs that I like. I said I like the song that he did. Hold on. I said I like the song that he did with Plies. That was my song. And you said that was 2 years ago or whatever.
However, Charlamagne wasn't having any of it. He just wanted his co-host to be honest and to not be a hypocrite.
But I could always tell you Nelly songs
y'all
that I
moonwalk.
like.
You know y'all like to dance, and that's the problem. Just tell the artist the truth.
He said the last record, Soul Records, it was more of a pop record. But we said this record with Merry Go Round, we didn't like it as much.
He literally told Nelly up front that they were feeding him lies, and he would even repeat, saying that he'd fallen off for a bit.
It's lies.
We said
So yeah, you did say that. You did say you didn't like the record. You said he's cold out here.
At this point, you could clearly see that Nelly was getting annoyed at Charlamagne, saying,
his opinion, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm saying, you saying cold as in not when
just music.
Now?
That's all.
As in right now.
Right now, yeah.
Okay, as in today.
As in today, yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Again, that's your opinion. We'll make that happen.
It was a light remark, letting Charlamagne know that he wasn't to be messed with. Now, Charlamagne has been a radio host for decades. However, this encounter was the only time in his career that he really got scared. You see, later on, in a podcast with Logan Paul, he was asked,
have you ever been pressed for kind of being a little too mouthy with the gangster?
Yeah.
What was the scariest moment? You're like, oh, like, I went a little too far with this dude.
Surprisingly enough, he answered,
Never had a scary moment. Well, you know what? In the studio, it wasn't scary, but it was, oh yeah, this could go left. And you know who it was? It was with Nelly.
Charlamagne went on to explain why he was scared of Nelly, saying,
don't know is Nelly is really a street dude from St. Louis, and he's in shape like a mother. He got hands, Nelly, you know what I mean?
I mean, if you listen to Nelly's songs, you wouldn't really expect him to be that tough. But Charlamagne clarified this misconception.
Exactly. So you hear those songs and you like, Nelly. But no, Nelly, and he didn't have no entourage. He was in there by himself. He had a wife beater on, and I was telling him.
He recalled the interview, saying that he jokingly said,
I was like, this was years ago, though, like 9-10 years ago. And I'm like, bro, yo, you kind of cold musically, right? Like, you know, ain't really popping with the music right now. And Nelly looked at me and Nelly goes, yo, we keep retainers for guys like you, cuz. And I was like, oh.
And as we talked about earlier, Charlamagne did these things to get a reaction from his guests. However, in Nelly's case,
he didn't yell, he didn't scream, he didn't curse. He was just like, yo, I keep retainers for guys like you, cuz. Like,
okay. You know when someone's about it.
He further explained that he thought that he was asking a real question, and he didn't think that Nelly would get pressed by it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, because I thought it is a valid opinion, right? But it's still just my opinion. Like, yo, you got cold.
How did you turn away? How did you like?
However, during that interview, Charlamagne kept on teasing Nelly, so he had to check him again.
I don't think he said that, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know, champ. You know, if it's something you trying to get to, just get to it. You know, it's like I said, we retainers, bro. Just say what you mean what you say.
He probably sensed that the tension rose and said,
no, I don't want to. I don't know. I was just on World Star last week.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't want no problem.
I know.
Fortunately, things would eventually calm down, but that didn't really end Nelly's anger with Charlamagne. As he shouted out his friends, he mentioned that he couldn't bring some of them due to being hot-headed like him.
Shout out to my brothers, Kiwan Ali, Murphy Lee, my little brother City Spud. You know he free. I used to wear the Band-Aid for him like that. He did like 9 years. You know, he a little hot-head too. I didn't bring him up here with me.
I was feeling like
But after saying that, he looked Charlamagne dead in the eyes.
Why you look at me for?
He looked at you. I just said I didn't bring him up here with me. He a little hot head. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, Charlamagne would. Yeah, good thing you didn't bring him. But
no, it's cool.
But of course, the antics didn't all come from Charlamagne. Even Angela Yee, who's known for being the level-headed host of The Breakfast Club, had her moments on the show. See, way back in 2016, Gucci Mane hopped on The Breakfast Club as a guest to promote his upcoming album. Little did anyone know that it would be Gucci's last time getting interviewed on the show. The interview actually started out fine. Vibes were mostly casual and chill, up until the conversation turned towards Angela Yee and Guap's history. And of course, Charlamagne had to ask Gucci Mane this question.
Hey, you smash Angela Yee, Gucci?
Angela tried to deny this.
of course not.
Why you said of course not?
I'm saying, come on, guys.
And judging from Gucci Mane's reaction, he seemed mad that Angela Yee didn't own up to it, so he exposed her live on air.
Try.
Okay.
She didn't try.
She was on
better.
That is a lie.
And when Angela accused Gucci Mane of lying, that was the final straw for Guwap.
I'm not lying.
No, we was cool. I was not on your. Stop
You
it.
used to be texting me what hotel you was at.
And as I mentioned earlier, Gucci would never hop on the Breakfast Club for an interview ever again. However, he did go on an interview with Charlamagne back in 2019 and had this to say about her.
I rejected you, I don't want you. What you mad about? But don't never try to act like you didn't do it. You did.
Charlamagne responded by saying,
She said she feel like you disrespected her. She disrespected herself.
on the other hand, it's no secret that whenever Charlamagne isn't feeling an artist's freestyle or takes, he makes it known, which is what's happened to many rappers who freestyled on the program. So when Nicki Minaj's ex, Safaree, hopped on the Breakfast Club to spit some bars, Charlamagne didn't hide the fact that he wasn't feeling it.
Look, I'm feeling lyrical and biblical, sitting up on my pedestal. No matter how you see it, I'm the pinnacle. It's pitiful, you an imbecile. If you try to make it physical, you end up critical. Think it's subliminal, you not no criminal. Stereotypical, don't see me, I'm invisible. Okay, I'm switching up the pattern, stamina spasm. Combative, I'm a really flattened, violent assassin. Got God on my side, Christ with a passion. A bunch of mad ex, fatal attraction. Feeding y'all that's a distraction.
So as the camera panned to Charlamagne, the disappointment riddled on his face was obvious. I mean, just look at this image of him staring at Safaree. You know he was about to say something disrespectful as soon as the freestyle ended.
Rip it on any beat, that's an adaptation. I'm running out of breath, I'm bringing it back in. Need my money up front, don't deal with a back end. Your pockets on a diet, I'm calling you Atkins.
You would think that any other DJ would give props to the guests for freestyling on air. However, Charlamagne was just built different, as he made sure to let Safaree know that he didn't like his freestyle.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
Listen, man. Fur Coat Volume 1, Fur Coat Volume 1, November 20th. Charlamagne.
You was too aggressive, man. You too hyper.
No, because, man, that was a diss track to you. That's why.
And although Safaree said that this was a diss track to Charlamagne in a comedic manner, you could tell that there were half-truths behind what he said. But what made it worse was when DJ Envy said this about Safaree's rap skills.
Man. If you listen to him and then you listen to how Nicki rap, you guys kind of rap the same.
You love saying that. We do not rap the same.
I mean, imagine how he felt. He went out of his way to go on the Breakfast Club and freestyle on the mic for a little bit, only to have DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God spaz out while they made fun of his flow.
You love saying that. We don't rap the same.
That's the same flow. You know what? I can't with y'all. You know what? Safaree, we appreciate you.
Listen, by the way, hold on. Do you think that Nicki's fell off a little bit?
But moving on, before Diddy got raided by the FBI, he actually went on the Breakfast Club again. And when he sat down for an interview, DJ Envy brought up a rumor that Diddy did not like to talk about. So the hip-hop mogul made sure to shut DJ Envy down after he brought up the fact that Envy didn't like it when his wife was mentioned by Jesus and Miro back in the day.
You be the craziest one asking about somebody's girl or a personal joint, but can't nobody even say nothing to you about nothing. I don't know.
Of course, Charlamagne was more than happy when he realized that Diddy instigated the topic.
Hey yo, Playboy, I'm gonna tell you, men, I don't talk about my relationships with nobody like that.
Let me say it like this. I don't mind anybody asking me.
But just before things got heated to the point of no return, Diddy assured them that he was just messing around with them. However, it does make you wonder, since DJ Envy got insanely worked up when his wife got mentioned by Miro, but here you can see him talking about other people's personal life, what does that say about him?
I don't care. But that's not my business. I'm not thinking about you and another woman.
If somebody disrespects, it's another level.
Oh, I can't even imagine somebody disrespecting me.
During that time, disrespecting Diddy was a risky move to say the least. I mean, just look at what allegedly happened to Kid Cudi when he briefly dated Cassie. Diddy apparently felt so disrespected that he reportedly went so far as to try and blow up Kid Cudi's car.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's my feeling. Okay. That's how I feel. And it's easy for people to go online. I'm not.
Now, let's turn our attention to No Jumper interviews. If you're at least a bit familiar with the current internet rap scene, you might have encountered Adam22 and his podcast, No Jumper, in one way or another. And if you've seen clips from this podcast, you know just how wild things can get. For example, let's talk about Kelpy's infamous Shark Tank appearance. Only 15 seconds into this interview, Sharp already tore Kelpy a new one.
And today, we got what? Lil Kelpy?
Yeah,
Lil Kelpy. You know we gonna get on all that. Hey, Church, do me a favor and take that jacket off.
The hood?
You gotta take that jacket off, bro.
Oh, no, I don't
you got to take that off. No, so what? Take that shit off, homie. That's a fraud, though, but you're not gonna wear that.
Bro.
Similar to the suspect incident that would happen just a month after this, Sharp took issue with how Kelpy presented himself, not only during this interview, but also during a soft white underbelly interview, accusing him of being fake and only using the pimp image to bolster his SoundCloud career.
Because you're really not a part of it, homie. You told me that you was doing it for your SoundCloud career. I talked to you.
I went on there for my
You
SoundCloud career, but that's not what I'm doing.
You
this
went on Soft White Underbelly
for my SoundCloud career.
So
yeah.
you went on there to
get me and my
portray
girls some
yourself as a pimp.
Nah, that's real.
You was
I
broke.
portraying
How is
myself
that
as
real?
myself.
How is that real?
Because that's what I do on a day-to-day.
How? What track you ever been on?
Both Sharp and Suspect also got a kick out of Kelpy when he revealed his mother drove him to the interview.
So what was your mom doing here? Explain.
Oh, well, see, I got my license suspended, and I couldn't get nobody else to drive me, so she just gave me a ride. She drove my car, she whipped my Benz here, and she's just outside kicking it, you know?
Yo, Benz here, you know you lying, right?
Lil Kelpy then tried to explain that he was just trying to prove to him that he was on a positive change. Although if he was, pimping might not be the solution. But that didn't matter, because Sharp was convinced that no matter how much Kelpy called himself a real pimp, he was nothing but fake.
I'm trying to show my mom that I am on a positive change life. I'm trying to show my whole family that. Because they know I've done bad past. So me coming on here, me trying to improve my, I guess, entrepreneur online persona, whatever you want to call that, to get legal money, that's what I'm trying to show I'm doing right now. That's why I brought her with
though,
me.
bro. No, but it's what you tried to portray it as when you went on Soft White Underbelly. Because me and you both know that was not you.
That is me.
You went and got a suit from eBay, tried to grab a couple that you know.
Later on, when discussing Kelpy's homelessness, which he brought up during the Soft White Underbelly interview, he brought paperwork to prove how the cops kicked him out and took his paper.
They underreported it.
Let's see.
It's the numbers right there, the figures right there.
No, let's see.
Yeah.
Well, he's shaking out his
Don't
boots, Sharp.
say my real
Why
name
you
on
shaking
that
out
shit,
his
but
boots, Sharp?
Yeah. Nah, I'm not shaking. I brought that paperwork in. Damn no well.
Why you shaking?
Now, while Kelpy did this to prove the cops did in fact kick them out of the house, the document just proved that he wasn't pimping. He was actually selling illegal substances.
Bro, they hit you for
Yeah, they hit me for
sold.
Come on.
I did not
You're
sell
not a
drugs.
fucking Come on.
pimp.
You're not a
No,
pimp. Shut up.
allegedly,
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of
selling
here.
drugs.
Out of here. Out of
Selling
here.
drugs.
He had two bitches talking about they raided him. You see in the phone with the raid.
450 pills. I don't know what the f
I
that
was
is.
using those drugs.
The drugs they was doing.
this.
Drugs they
They
was
ain't
doing.
no pimping.
I was not selling those
He's
drugs.
a dealer, and I ain't knocking the niggas that do it, but nigga
I
don't
was
come
not
fraudulent
selling
in
no
our
drugs.
game. You're denied.
And when Kelpy insisted he was indeed a real pimp, Sharp asked him who taught him the ropes, and his response was shocking. Kelpy said that it was Sharp himself who taught him, which led to this hilarious response from the season host.
Who taught you the game, church? Other than you two, where have you been?
You're one of the people that taught me the game.
How? I never even met you. I've never even saw you. Other than you going in front no more shit.
We on the phone every day, is we not?
Through YouTube.
We fucking not.
Through YouTube.
I've never seen this man in my entire life,
never
Your Honor.
met me before today.
I've never
and I'm not
met this
denying
man or shook a hand with this man a day in my life.
To be honest, the whole interview was tough to watch. Lil Kelpy was very young, and he was still a teenager during this interview, and he was way out of his league. Sharp and Suspect danced circles around him, and there are even several instances where they looked like they were just outright making fun of him.
Pulled out the diamond tester.
It's not.
I noticed nobody wanted to feel the
Nobody's
code,
pulled
see if
out
it's
the
real
diamond
fur.
tester.
So come on. Come on. I don't know what y'all are laughing about.
You laughing.
No,
Use the joke.
I laugh on the inside of all
Nigga,
this.
you're the biggest joke I've done seen in a long time. Like,
Now, throughout this interview, Sharp just completely shut Kelpy off and didn't believe anything he said. Whenever Sharp asked a question and Kelpy answered, Sharp just called him a liar. So Kelpy never had a chance from the beginning. And when Sharp insisted he was lying the whole time, Kelpy once again insisted that he was telling the truth.
I ain't lying about
I'm
shit
not
though.
playing with you. You been lying.
I just told you
You
this
been
isn't for
lying,
anybody
boy.
forever.
You been lying.
I ain't been lying.
And forever to what? You never even touched it.
Touched what?
The game.
that part.
The game. Come on.
I've been in the game, not as long as
No,
y'all,
you
but I've been in the
don't.
game.
You never played it. You can't even say that.
So they're going nowhere. Suspect then insinuated that Kelpy is nothing more than a guy who's pretending to be a pimp by playing dress up, which, judging by the Soft White Underbelly interview and this, honestly a fair assessment.
Say that.
You've been wearing a pimp costume for a few months. You really a
pimp
You've been
poster.
wearing
You really are a bitch.
It's ironic that the very words Suspect threw at Kelpy here would get thrown at him just a month later, and when Kelpy called him up during that interview, he got angry and tried to start a fight. So after this hour-long verbal argument, Sharp ended the whole thing by, I guess, just telling Kelpy what he really thought of him, which he had already been doing for the entire interview.
Man, hey, we
Here's
about
the
to
thing,
get up out
I
of
will
here. I
never,
don't give a
ever,
f about what
ever,
you saying
ever.
no more. Your little bitch ass been sitting here lying the whole time instead of saying like, yeah, right, because I talked to you and you lying. And I'm tired of this. Like, I played the little shenanigans with you. Okay, we kept it going, but you really been lying, and I really been wanting to cut your ass off a minute ago. Nigga, you disrespect the game. I really came from the and we don't with you. You's a sucker. You's a straight sucker. You's a straight booger. You's a booger under the table. So somebody's glass that got smeared.
And as Kelpy was exiting, Sharp and Suspect kept hurling insults.
Invitation to leave for real?
Huh?
Is that an invitation to leave?
That's an invitation for you to get the up.
Peace out.
Chop suey. Take your headphones off, clown.
So bum ass on, church. We ain't playing with you. Yeah, get your ass on.
You lucky when you take that lame ass jacket off.
For real. Get your ass on before you get work.
Now, unlike the previous interview, which was just an argument, our next interview was much more heated, to the point that it became physical. In this clip, the two went straight to the point. AD and BMX Val had been holding it down, and you could feel the energy shift as soon as Val's name came up. AD called him out, saying,
The Machiavellis and shit.
He was broke,
Oh, cuz. My Val in this fucking, you know what I'm saying? My Val in this fucking, bro.
And not even seconds after, things got heated and the two started giving each other the beats. Suddenly, things were way past the point of no return. You could hear voices cut through the audio, and the scene spiraled. AD and Val were both locked in, not backing down, and by this point, the studio was in pure chaos.
Well, it ain't broke. All right, you guys, we're gonna take a break.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on, dog. Gotta chill. Get from outside, dog.
But just as things might have cooled off, you could hear the sound of something breaking. AD and Val had to be pulled apart as the room was tense.
Oh, and they broke that shit.
Get the bruh.
I got a studio, we been vibing.
Oh, man. All right, man. It's at the end of the day. I guess we going at the end of the day.
Now this next moment we're going to talk about is yet another example of something getting physical within the No Jumper cast, and it involves Trell yet again. See, when the guys sat together and talked, the conversation eventually led to the shirt Trell was wearing, and this, for some reason, led to him calling out Blazzy for apparently stealing designs.
Just say you don't know, just like you didn't know you was gonna buy that stupid ass shirt.
You just surfed here.
It is weak as fuck.
You have a black tee on right now.
Half evil, nothing personal collab.
It's half evil and Northwood purposely let the collab.
Nothing personal.
Graphic designer right there.
And right after Blazzy pointed out that his shirt sold thousands in 2 days, Trell went to work discrediting Blazzy.
2 days, Josh, please bring up my pictures, please. Here.
This thing got pre-planned roast. That is weak, bruh. This is all off the top. That is weak.
Bring up the
Finding Nemo.
Everybody pointed out that Trell had these images prepared, which means that Trell had already been planning on calling out Blazzy, whether his shirt got made fun of or not.
So this right here, you know what I'm saying? Look at this. You know what I'm saying? My right here. He's copying shit and we could get this.
Here, Trell presented evidence that Blazzy's greatest match hits, fairly popular item, was plagiarized from Etsy. However, that wasn't the only evidence of plagiarism Trell had prepared.
Hey, look, y'all. I mean, I hate.
Show me the Birkin one. All right, let's go on Sorella.com. Let's see how they yo.
Apparently, Blazzy's Prosperity in Blue design was also plagiarized. I personally don't see the similarities aside from the fact that they're both flower pots in the shape of a handbag, but that's a fairly popular design already. But hey, the crew made a reaction loud enough, so it must have been valid. Then, the guy sitting behind Blazzy pointed out how Trell came into this episode with a presentation and even prepared some jokes, which, as I said before, indicated that he planned on confronting Blazzy.
Bro, this
No fear. No one.
This nigga Trell with his pre-planned.
Yeah, we got your ass talking now. Nigga talking.
Wow. Josh, you full of shit. You let this Trell pre-plan this shit, bro.
That is not no Birkin bag.
I just came here.
Y'all had written down jokes, bro. This is crazy. That's crazy. This is fraud. This is all at the top.
Blazzy then interjected here and asked Josh to Google Trell the designer, which prompted no results whatsoever aside from a Reddit post.
Hold on.
Sit down.
Google Trell the designer. Google Trell the designer.
Oh, we Googled your shit.
Oh, a bunch of shit pop up. Come on, yeah.
Googled your shit in the game up.
Search it up.
We just did.
Trell the designer. What the f***'s gonna pop up?
Damn.
Walmart versus designer for kids.
Man.
It don't matter. Hey, look.
It's already.
And when Blazzy had the Reddit link opened, it showed this.
Hey, let's check it out on Reddit. Let's see what people say then.
Trell just pretended to not hear Blazzy here. Instead, he just kept yelling over him. So, discussing Trell's first piece of evidence, Blazzy then pointed out that it's common for designers and online sellers to box their items in small crates, and his items were matchbooks, while the Etsy post Trell showed was a dollhouse.
Office match.
He added the matches. How does that shit look exactly like your shit, dog?
Bro, the whole factor of my product is it's a matchbook.
So how
that's
does that
some bullshit little dollhouse.
Shit, dog.
I don't fucking know. It's common to have crates.
Hold on. And he was commenting. He got his mouth open still. I just trying to see.
Following this exchange, Blazzy then insinuated that the only reason T-Rel did this all was because he was jealous of Blazzy's success as a designer.
Oh, hold
I
on.
didn't Google none of that shit. I just ran into that shit.
No, you didn't.
Oh, God.
You don't just stumble upon.
How do you Google that? How do you Google that?
You were at 1 a.m.
Google that.
You were on 1 a.m. on my Instagram.
You can't Google that, bro.
So upset that people acknowledge me as a designer. And you're like, let me search up for the craziest shit. I'm on the 12th page.
Blazzy also pointed out that T-Rel only brought this whole thing up after he said he sold 1,000 shirts.
That nigga search history look crazy.
Yeah, as soon as I said I sold 1,000 shirts, he hits Josh with, yo, pull up that one photo.
Yeah.
Pull up that one photo.
T-Rel then pointed out that taking the design of others and improving upon it is exactly what designers do, which is true, but it's surprising that it came from him when he started this whole segment.
No, but that is some Virgil shit, though.
I recall. Hold on.
That's some Virgil shit.
No, I recall.
I mean, they take shit and they twist it and they make it better. That's what they do.
So I guess he folded. But Blazzy then cut him off, completely ignoring what T-Rel just said, and asked how many shirts T-Rel has sold.
Since I said how many shirts I sold for my last drop, how many shirts did Swish?
I'm looking at this shit right here, and that shit looks like a carbon copy.
That's a valid question.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a valid question. I heard a valid question.
So what was the question, Blazzy? What was the question?
How many shirts did the last Swish drop do?
I don't know. I probably only made like
We don't know,
shirts.
guys. We don't know.
I only made a couple hundred shirts.
But the chaos in No Jumper really never stops, because during the same episode, right after T-Rel messed with Blazzy for his designs, we witnessed another clash, this time between Ace Boy Pun and Josh. You see, Pun messed around with Josh for how he handled a certain aspect of the podcast business end, and of course, Josh didn't take kindly to this at all.
Josh, what's going on, bro? You left us out that title, community, bro. I'm on your ass.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
I'm on your ass.
Y'all got y'all whole gang here. Niggas waving their pom-poms.
Hey, but today title, he got everybody's names, bro. That's crazy.
Later on, Josh started firing shots from off camera, which prompted the rest of the guys to hand him a microphone.
Let's go.
Josh! Oh, Josh, look. He mad.
You ready?
I'm ready, Josh.
Let's go.
He's fucking ready, dude.
You want to talk about it right now?
Yeah.
Josh then proceeded to say that he handles the business side of the podcast the way he wants, and has gone the show to a certain level. So as far as Josh was concerned at that point, he wasn't about to hear anyone give him advice on how to handle his business.
Come sit over here. Come sit over here.
Dude, guess what?
Come sit over here.
It's not your call. We decide we want a title shit. If we want to clickbait a title and go with topics, we're going to go with topics. And guess what? It got you guys that far.
However, Pun just played it off like he wasn't taking Josh seriously here. Yet, his facial expressions and the shift in his tone suggested that he might have started to feel some type of way.
That nigga serious as f. Come sit on the couch, man, with your serious ass. Come over with your serious ass, man. My nigga said we click titles how we want to click titles.
Of course, Josh clapped back once again, directly attacking Pun this time.
Racks and out. Oh, come on. We ain't gonna go there. Stop playing with me, Josh.
You got a No Jumper, and now you're sad and moldy about it because your name didn't get
He said what? What'd he say?
You got sad because your name get on the community. That's what he said. So
I got
it's
sad. I just sad. I just called you on your bullshit.
You got real sad.
I called you on your.
And Josh didn't stop there. He took it a step further and really doubled down on Pun, attacking him for being in the industry for a long time and still not knowing how to handle business.
You mad, Josh?
This stupid ass is drinking a Corona right now.
You're sad right now.
Wait,
say it to the mic, Josh.
The Mexicans
You're sad.
you've been in this industry so long and you still can't handle the shit right and talk to me like a man.
After that sting of a comment, Pun fought back. But where Josh fought with words, Pun responded by telling them to take their business outside.
What are you talking about? You mad? You mad? You mad? I like to handle business outside if you want to go. Whoa! If you're really mad.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean?
Get your homie, AD.
Calm that down. All right.
And after seeing things were getting a little too hot, AD urged everyone to change the subject, hoping that would make the room cool down a little.
Everybody now. Let's change the subject.
I gotta teach my nigga Josh.
Let's change the subject. Calm that shit down. No, let's change the subject.
Pun wasn't done though. He had more to say to Josh, despite everyone else's best efforts to change the subject.
By the way, I talk to you like a man, Josh.
Oh God!
I'm here for it.
Josh, it's not that serious. We can just talk. It's just conversation.
I'm here for it.
It's all playing and joking, man.
And as it happens, Josh wasn't done too. He then pointed out that despite Pun's insistence here on the fact that Josh was mad at him, Pun was the one who was so mad and salty that even harassed him at 6 in the morning over a thumbnail.
Ain't nobody against nobody here.
We homies.
We all men here, but we talk business when we're supposed to talk business. It's not on.
That's not business, bro. That's a fucking header.
No, that's you.
That's a header, bro.
That's you being salty about
It was a joke. You mad?
Dude,
you
I'm
mad over a
because
fucking thumbnail?
Texted me at 6
Over a
in
header?
the morning about this and harassed my ass about
I
this
didn't
shit
text
till
you at no
changed
6
it.
in the morning.
Want me to pull it up?
Pun did later admit that he did text John at like 5 or 6 in the morning.
Talk about it.
He probably
If it
like,
wasn't
God
6
damn.
a.m., what time was it?
It's a
He wrote.
title. He probably don't
been-
even make up the goddamn
like-
titles. He
might have
just
been
put
like
it
5.
on there.
5 a.m.
Might have been 5, 6.
What you doing at 5 a.m.?
When shit on my mind, shit on my mind, bro.
Were you waking up or going to sleep?
That means he gonna see it when he wake up.
The YouTube is on your
Oh, that's a new
Hey, but
one.
we're not talking business.
That's a
here.
new one. That's a new one.
But then Trell pointed out that Josh and Pun just had to communicate to each other better, which somehow made Pun mad at him.
Yeah, we homies though. I mean, you just gotta learn how to talk to each other. I mean, it ain't nothing personal. We
I
just
think
want to.
Man, get the fuck out of here. Try to give me no intervention.
I ain't even talking to you. I'm talking to the cameras.
Roast.
I'm talking to the cameras.
Nah.
So Pun seems to have cooled down a bit here because he said that he messed with Josh and he knew he was gonna get sensitive about the title, which makes both of them.
Cameras.
Nah, I f with Josh. I didn't know he was gonna get sensitive over that title though.
Oh, come on, Josh.
And that was that. Now let's jump to another heated episode of Sharp Tank. In this one, Sharp spoke with Aliza Jane, and while he kept going at her offensively, Aliza, throughout the interview, remained unserious, laughing at most of Sharp's attacks and asking him why he's so mad. Just 2 minutes in the video, Sharp called Aliza 5 Nights at Freddy's because of her nightly endeavors.
No.
So you telling me that while she was with him, you never had any encounters?
Hell no. I was with my own man when she was with him.
I find that hard to believe because, girl,
You
you
can
be
ask
like
her.
you like 5 Nights at Freddy's.
What does that mean?
Meaning, man, it's a nightmare going on every night with you.
Aliza then pointed out how serious Sharp can get, while she's apparently the type of girl who just wants to have fun, which meant the two of them are as opposite as it gets.
Figure this shit out.
Bro, no, you gotta relax because first of all, you're one of them type of people that takes everything like way too fucking seriously, and I'm the exact opposite of you.
Yeah.
I don't take serious, so that's why I'm wondering where this conversation's gonna go.
I look at it literally and logically. That's all it is.
And I'm just fucking around being myself.
In response, Sharp said that Aliza's behavior was becoming problematic, which explained his deep concern.
Around someday it might get you hurt. Don't you agree?
I mean, yeah.
Think about it.
But I'd rather have fun.
You
get
like
hurt.
that shit. You don't care
I
if it
love
hurts
it.
you in the end. See,
Yeah.
it's sad because it's like, okay, you want to have
Oh,
some
here
fun.
you
After Sharp pointed out the reality of Aliza's sad situation, he became defensive and started calling Sharp. From here, Sharp started to get heated.
Okay, you want to have
Oh,
some
here
fun.
you go with the sad shit. Who's sad? I'm not
Wait,
sad.
hold on. What'd you call me?
Sorry, baby. I said
No,
baby.
what'd you call me?
I said baby daddy.
I'll throw this drink smooth on you, girl. So you might want to just sit your ass back just a little bit.
Laura, you
don't
heard
call
that,
me
right?
no. But I'm just
Laura?
saying we don't have to use that word
Laura
in
literally
terminology.
works for Adam.
That's
I'm like,
that's
Laura.
extra to start shit off like that. That's not okay. So let's really
Okay,
go
I
ahead
take
and
it
let's
back.
retune.
No. I really take that back.
Aliza did apologize for this, which put the conversation back on track for a bit. After talking about Aliza's preferences in the bedroom, Sharp continued to express his apparent concerns about her. However, Aliza reciprocated with nothing but indifference towards Sharp's quote-unquote concerns.
To get that. But see, what kind of worries me about you is because, see, you project this on camera, right? Like you always say, all right, that's cool, but listen, you project this on camera. I'm being cool with you. I ain't yelling at you nothing. I want to get this
Oh,
clear.
I wish you. Ooh, I can't wait till you
I know you
yell.
like
you know,
that.
you have to yell at some point. I know how you move. You're gonna yell at some point. But I can't wait. I'm gonna laugh.
While Sharp didn't yell at Aliza yet, it wouldn't take long for Sharp to use another one of his trademark interview tactics, non-stop insults.
So today, she know because once it come across my desk, it's across my desk.
You don't
And
even
I'ma deal
have
with it
no notes
accordingly.
or What are you
My
talking
notes,
about?
baby,
across
baby.
your
See,
desk?
that's how stupid you are. My notes is right here, baby. I know it
You
all
take
already
that back
about
right
you.
now. You know I'm not stupid.
No,
take
you
that back.
you act like it. You act like you're
Okay,
very
I play
naive
dumb.
to
You gotta be smart
situations.
to play
Ain't no
dumb.
playing dumb.
But that wasn't the end of Sharp's verbal attacks. Aside from calling her all sorts of names, after she called him out for not having any notes during an interview, Sharp also just called her evil and a plague. But instead of being insulted, Aliza stayed true to her word and just laughed everything off.
Never knew. I would have never even knew you was that type of chick, man. You evil. You on some other shit. For real.
Here you go.
Plague. I done said it earlier. This shit is a plague, man.
Later on in this interview, Sharp exposed Aliza for apparently being a racist.
His name. That's the problem with you.
Okay.
You got a habit of calling people out their names. Just like the other night, man, you called me, man, the N-word with the ER at the end of it and got your ass checked.
According to Sharp, Aliza called him the word.
You did. And then tried to talk about, yes, you did. I know you did. I ain't got to play with you. For what? Why I got to lie?
Video of that?
It's what you did. I was on FaceTime with you.
Okay.
Why you
and
lying?
If I did that, I was
Why you
drugged
lying?
and
Look at me in my
sorry.
face and say you didn't do that.
I didn't do that. But
You
if
know,
I did
man,
that,
you the
I
devil.
was fucked up.
You the devil. For you to even sit there and even say that, you know the damn well you did and you found that funny.
Sharp tied this point back to his initial concerns about her, stating this as an example of one of the things that could get her hurt. But as expected, Aliza didn't take him seriously at all.
Until some shit really gets you hurt and somebody remove that smirk off your face. That'd be the problem one day for you. You know what you gonna remember? Damn, Sharp told me so. That's no teeth. Sharp told me so. Sharp told me so,
Yo,
man.
do that shit again, please.
You see?
So while Sharp did have moments of genuine concern towards her throughout this interview, just like the one I spoke about, most of it was just him calling her out and insulting her. At one point, Sharp asked Aliza what her most viral moment was.
What are you talking about?
Where do you feel like you went viral at, your most viral moment?
My
What were you
most viral
saying?
moment was
What were
me
you
talking
saying?
about getting fucking pissed on and sucking off 7 people. Like what? And
Not
what?
because she the truth.
I don't give
Not
a
because she
fuck.
got anything to offer. It's because she willing to do shit
The only
no
thing
woman
that
with
anyone knew
morals
about
is
me,
willing to
that's
do.
Sharp also advised Aliza not to have kids because she's not mentally healthy for motherhood. Spoiler alert, she did end up having a kid.
Why? You
God
probably
knows better than
shouldn't.
to give me
Because
some
me and
kids
you,
right now.
yeah, you probably shouldn't. Because me and you already know that you are mentally f***ed up. You don't
We
even need
all
to
know
have no
that.
kids
And
up
what?
around
What's
you.
the fucking point?
I don't know. Like, you couldn't listen.
You're
I'm going to be
fucked up
honest.
too.
I'm going to say this. But I'm going to tell you this, though. Yeah, we all f***ed up.
And Sharp still wasn't done being insulting. Far from it. Later on, when Aliza offered to do a toast with him, this is what he did.
You want to take a chair?
We just getting started.
I would like you to do a toast.
A toast.
Yeah.
A toast to all the buddians from the appellations of buddy. This one is to you and for you, man, for real. Because y'all got y'all fucking leader sitting right across the table.
Who put me in charge? Because it wasn't.
Oh, baby, you put yourself in charge.
So while Aliza remained somewhat calm and aloof all throughout, she did ask why Sharp was so concerned about her and her preferences in the bedroom.
What do you want from me, Sharp? Like, get out. Why are you so concerned about my own sexuality?
Fine,
Like,
it just
I'm
is
not bothering
disturbing.
nobody.
It's disturbing
That's
to sit across a
fine.
table from somebody with that thought process. That's all. It's kind of triggering.
After this, Sharp went on a tirade on Aliza. He essentially laid everything he thought about her out on a table. She said she was just gonna play along with him since she knew he didn't know her fully, but Sharp begged to disagree.
Because you don't have any.
I'm just gonna play along with your little game.
It's
'cause
not
you're
a
talking like you
game.
know
It's
me,
not a
but you don't
game.
know
I just
shit.
know you
So
ain't got no
can't sit there and
boundaries.
say you don't have no boundaries.
What you mean? You get with no condom. I watch you. You don't even know who the you sitting there next to.
Everyone
Sugar
does
booger all on
that.
the counter.
Everyone
No,
does
but just
that.
with random
You don't
bitches,
know who the
everybody.
It is
Just
in the
everybody.
video. You only
I
seen
don't
that
care
dick.
who it is.
Unless you
It's
already
how
know
you
what that
treat
dick
yourself.
Looks like, then you know
It's
what
how
they
you
look
treat
like.
yourself,
Okay,
and
but
you can't
why
expect
the fuck
me
do you
to
feel like
treat
you need to tell me?
with any type of
I don't
extra
care how you treat
respect.
me.
When I see you don't even respect
You don't
yourself.
know me.
Sharp then went back to Aliza and said something I can't say on YouTube, and how she's comfortable with that because she surrounds herself with people who are comfortable with that as well.
You're so used to being loose-lipped because the people that you're around,
No,
guess what
I
they
just
do?
take this as a
Guess
joke
what they do?
because
No, guess
nothing
what they
you say
do?
to me-
No, guess what they do? They accept what you say by calling in the ER and like that. You're around people that accept that shit. I don't accept that shit. Show some fucking respect. If anything, you owe every fucking black person in this office an apology because you think it's fucking funny to say that type of shit.
Aliza did properly apologizing for saying the word so casually. However, Sharp wasn't through with her, as he also called her this.
This shit is the spawn of Satan. The spawn of Satan. Remember I said this, man.
In the Bible,
Man,
you don't read
you
the
ain't no
fucking
fucking
Bible.
Jezebel. You fall way, man, you fall to her feet.
Okay, who's Jezebel? Who's that? Who is that?
Who is it? You tell me, you
That's
said
what
it.
I said. Yo, I can't with this.
And if you thought Sharp was done, the worst was yet to come. Because not only did Sharp put Aliza's life in the bedroom in a bad light, and even implied she was racist, he then accused Aliza of carrying an actual disease.
What's next?
No, what's next? How's your life been? You ain't
Really
caught no
amazing.
no new STDs lately?
Yeah, Sharp really accused Aliza of having an STD.
No.
You gonna f around and catch
You want to see
something.
my results?
They're gonna, hey, let me tell you something. You gonna f around and catch something, sweetie. For real, I see what you do. I've seen it. You showed me.
After this, we see Aliza at perhaps her most combative state in this interview.
You showed me. You wanted
Bro,
to show
just
me
because
you
videos,
wanted this moment right here.
100
But you sent them
videos
to
from
me.
the past
You
5
should have never
years,
sent them. No, bitch, you should have never fucking
doesn't
sent
mean
them.
I just did that
You should
yesterday.
have never
I don't
sent
give
them.
a
What? When I asked you
They're
why
all
you're sending
on
them.
OnlyFans.
When I asked you
Cause I look
why you
good.
sent it, I didn't take them
'Cause
like that. I said,
look
why you sending
good.
this? You told me because you horny.
No,
Because I'm horny.
Let me pull up the
Because I'm
faces.
horny.
Don't
Yeah,
fucking
pull
be
them up because you said
a
because
whore.
I'm horny.
I probably did.
That is what you said, so why even look it up?
She then pointed out the hypocrisy of Sharp's attitude towards her throughout the interview. He was incredibly judgmental of her endeavors, while he himself was a pimp.
I'm just letting you
I
know.
don't give a
I know you
Bro,
don't
you're
care,
a pimp.
baby.
You think I give
I'm
a
not
what you think
I ain't
about?
I'm just sharp. You's a
And I'm
buddying,
worth-
and we all know that.
You look at all
we
bitches
all
like
know
a dollar
that.
sign.
No, I
your
don't, baby.
opinion of me
No, I
doesn't mean a
don't. I really
goddamn
want to
thing.
see y'all be better. Y'all ain't even worth it no more. Why
No,
you think I
you want me to
retired?
sell
To
pussy.
be
How's that
honest with you,
better?
these bitches don't even
How
be
is
working
that
no more.
better?
You're not even
How
working
is
no more.
selling
Look at you,
pussy
a
doing
pretty
better?
bum. A pretty bum.
This is the first time Aliza made a sensible comeback, and Sharp didn't even acknowledge it. And while things were pretty heated, Aliza managed to cool down. However, the same couldn't be said for Sharp.
I don't know, you guys. What did I do to piss him off? Does anybody know? See, I told you that I know what you do, but it's okay. That's
You don't
fine.
know about me. You don't know what I do.
Okay,
I don't
well,
get
you
on
don't know
camera
me
and talk
either.
about
Can
it
we just
indirect
both
like you
agree on
do.
that?
Show it to
All
everybody
I know about
like
you is your
do.
little Sharp Tank thing, but
Like
I
you
already
do.
told you.
My
I think
little-
it's an act
My little,
anyways.
you got some bum sitting there, man. A bitch that you pay on the side, putting your up that's ugly as fuck.
As expected, Sharp just went on another rant here while Aliza remained calm. Later, Sharp said he's woke and enlightened, which prompted Aliza to respond mockingly.
Not for me. I'm already enlightened, baby. I'm woke. I'm trying to wake your sleepy ass up, Sleepy Joe.
I'd rather stay
I'm trying to
asleep
wake
than be
your
what
ass.
the f you're on.
I'm trying to
I'm
wake
chilling.
your ass up. No, you not.
Yes.
You just living day to day.
The
You
happiest
don't even know
people
how
on
it's
earth
coming.
are the most dumbest,
You don't even know
retardedest
how
people.
it's
They don't
coming.
know what the fuck
Live with
is
some
going
structure.
on.
You don't
They
even
live
know how
in
it's
their
coming.
own little world.
You don't even know how it's
unbothered.
f***ing
That's
coming.
me.
You don't even know how it's coming for you tomorrow. You don't know. The next day,
I
the
know
next
exactly
week.
what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm
You
gonna
live
wake up,
second to
suck
second,
dick,
baby.
repeat.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
So, knowing the host of the show was mad as hell, Aliza knew she couldn't get a serious conversation out of the interview. So, she plugged her Odd Future website and even teased Sharp while doing it.
Trash.
All right, subscribe to AJAYYYEJAE. You'll see Sharp on there with his legs up.
Sharp still tried to go at her after this, but Aliza wouldn't engage. She either just laugh at him or make fun of him, which prompted Sharp himself to leave his own show. Of course, Aliza just laughed at him then too.
Right.
Man,
I'm
you
gonna
should
be
be
a
happy
movie
you stuck a
director.
Oscar Mayer up her ass, man. I'm out this, man. This sucks.
Now, while Aliza kept laughing during the previous No Jumper episode, this next one is most certainly no laughing matter. You see, during this episode, American Cholo and Bozo hopped on to confront Adam about a clip Flakko had posted that showed Cholo making racist comments. However, the clip was later proven to be edited, but not before it had already created a division between the Black and Mexican communities in LA. Unfortunately, Adam wasn't at the studio at the time.
Okay. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it to the interview today because I am deep in this poker tournament with $1 million for first. But I did just want to send out a statement in terms of what my opinion is on all this stuff. So we have nothing against American Cholo at all. That was never, it was never part of a big plan to like smear his name or anything like that. That was never the case.
Adam explained that the only reason they posted the clip in the first place was because it was newsworthy. And as an online platform that dabbles in current events in hip-hop and the Black community at large, Adam felt that they were justified in posting the video. He also agreed that some of the clips may have been out of context, but not all of them.
You gotta post about it. Now, I do agree that the clips, the parts were taken out of context where it was just American Cholo telling a story about, you know, how he ran into some guy and the guy called him the N-word, whatever. I'm not like taking issue with that since he was just quoting somebody else. I get it. The other stuff, calling Tariq a ghetto coup over and over and over. I mean, I'm sorry, that's news.
However, Adam was open to letting his platform be Cholo's way of explaining his side. That said, that video wasn't enough for Cholo and Bozo. They wanted more. Adam's absence didn't stop them from getting their points across to him directly, because even though he wasn't there, they FaceTimed him so they could at least have a more proper conversation.
Here you go. White Devil!
That's the White Devil right there, oh boy. That's the White Devil right there.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, Bozo and American Cholo wanted to holler at you real quick.
What's good, guys?
And without hesitation, Bozo said what he was there to say to Adam.
Hey, how you doing, brother? So look, I can't speak for him, right? So I'm gonna speak for myself real quick.
I kind of like I heard the video that you sent earlier and shit, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you as a man, right? Because I'm grown. I think that's a cheap way out, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I think that post carries so many consequences that you can't even fathom, you know what I'm saying? And I would hope that you being where you're at now and your business is where it's at, you would understand.
To show Adam how bad things could get with the black and brown communities in LA, Bozo invited Adam to go on a little tour with him.
And I'm personally gonna invite you to a few situations that I think that can open your mind to the seriousness of these things. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of funerals that you can attend with us. We got a lot of car washes that bury our people behind a lot of, you know what I mean, hate, you know what I'm saying? So
after that, Bozo demanded that Flakko's post about American Cholo be taken down.
I think that that post needs to come down, brother. And we're not really asking you, and I know it sounds up for me to come on your platform and demand something, but I'm demanding it for not myself, but for my people's well-being and also the black community, you feel what I'm saying?
But instead of acknowledging the gravity of the situation Bozo was calling for, Adam instead defended and justified their post.
Right, I mean, I think that the thing that you're not really considering is that if you're gonna be a public figure and make, you know, YouTube videos and do podcasts and all that kind of shit, and you're gonna be out here using racial language against somebody, then you should expect it to be discussed and dissected on public platforms, you know? So it's like, I don't understand what us deleting the post does when I can tell you 10 other outlets that already posted about it.
American Cholo then stepped in and called out the unfairness of what Adam said about him using racial language, considering their clip was edited to make it out worse than it really was.
Yeah, well, you're the one of the biggest platforms out here, and you're saying when you're on YouTube, we got a platform, but when you got a video that is clearly edited from 2 other videos that's put together like that, Adam, you have gone through your own stuff through Twitter, you have gone through your own stuff saying certain comments, and what did you always say? It's out of context. So now I feel like, wait a minute, this is something that could really spill over the streets. Now all of a sudden it's not out of context. Now all of a sudden we should just take it.
Adam then had more justifications here, saying that not everything they posted was edited or used out of context, to which Cholo and Bozo immediately called out because it definitely was.
Well, okay, I do agree with you that the part of the video that makes it seem as if you're just using the N-word definitely is out of context, so I can agree with you on that part. But I mean, in terms of you calling Tariq a coon over and over, I don't really think that was out of context.
See, the thing is, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. AD, is it out of context?
We just talked about it, and it's out of context, Adam.
AD, Duno, Cholo, and Bozo talked about this during the interview before they called Adam. So I guess he just wasn't watching the episode live, and that's why he didn't know. So when he asked, the rest of the guys explained.
And it was okay. I mean, I'll tell you right now, real quick. The part means AD, Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Uncle Tom. The ghetto part I said about Tariq was because Tariq acts like he's this gangster ghetto guy on the streets, always dividing brown and black, yet he lives in one of the whitest cities in the San Fernando Valley, Chatsworth. That's why I said, you over here trying to act like you're a ghetto gangster fool, but you're really a ghetto. In other words, you perpetrating to be ghetto, and you're really an Uncle Tom trying to sell us out, and that's where it comes from. And I did a whole video on it.
Adam then answered by saying that regardless of his reasoning behind saying it, he still said a racially charged comment, which made it newsworthy. In response, Cholo explained that there was more context behind that comment, just a 5-second clip taken out of a 7 to 8 minute video.
So there's actually major context in there. It's like me getting the video where you're reading off the computer and you say the ER word and then just put it out there, look, he's being racist. Or me get the tweets, hey, look, he's talking about young girls. If that was you know it's completely out of context. So what you're doing here, you're steering the pot between brown and black, because I've gotten death threats, I've gotten all kind of stuff, and I can guarantee you, Adam, if something were to happen to me, it'd be all bad, homie, and you'd be the one that's responsible for this.
While Adam insisted that he wasn't responsible for that if that were to ever happen, he did say that he was going to take the post down.
Listen, I do see your point about the N-word part of it. So I am willing to take the post down just to be diplomatic, and because I think that part in particular was taken out of context. But I also just want you to consider like what the role of media is and what is considered newsworthy, because to me, it's obvious. It's not baiting a war. It's not like creating a race war. This is just blatant news. Like,
Bozo then acknowledged what Adam was trying to say here. However, he also had something he wanted Adam to learn.
That being said, I want to say this. The same way that we need to learn these things, you need to learn our street politics, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm not out here to glorify the gang lifestyle. I'm not here to be a gang leader, but I'm here to speak as a witness and as a survivor of the streets. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that us as men besides platforms, besides views, besides streams, we owe it to our youth, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Yep. We owe it to the young boys out there that are gonna lose lives over some. You know what I'm trying to say?
Bozo essentially just pointed out how impactful of a platform Adam has here. And whenever he posts something that can have major repercussions in the community he operates in, the community where he wants to be held as a professional media outlet, he should at least think twice about the things he posts. Later on, AD acknowledged that despite Adam's frequent misgivings, he may not be the white devil that people make him out to be, and he's capable of hearing things out. So at the end of the day, Adam agreed to take down the post.
But you know, Adam, you know what I'm saying? He'll tell you, and I think the post should be taken down, me personally.
Thank you. I think
I
that's
got
it.
you.
See? That's all it is.
Thank
God
you,
bless,
Adam.
man. Good luck.
All right, bro. Hey.
Appreciate you guys. Sorry I couldn't make it, man.
Now, while this last moment had a good resolution, our next clip shows the opposite, with Adam completely caught in 4K losing his cool. The guests in this episode are Ralphie the Plug, Draco the Ruler's brother, and Young Angel. And early on in this interview, they insinuated that Adam only used Draco to get tapped into the streets, and he didn't even reach out to Ralphie after Draco passed. Of course, to not let anyone ruin his reputation, Adam had to respond.
Like, my whole thing is when somebody's brother gets killed right there in front of him, the last thing I think to myself is like, oh, I'm gonna f him up right away. We got to do content together. Obviously, I'm looking at your situation like, damn, like, I'm just gonna let him fucking grieve and not be like all out the window. Like,
Young Angel then stepped in here and told Adam that enough time had passed already, and the No Jumper team still hadn't reached out to them in any way.
hey, let's do fucking content together right away.
Back. We agreed for about 15, you know what I'm saying, days, 2 weeks, but then we realized what was going on. And we've been dropping content ever since because nobody else was doing it. You get what I'm saying? This is a business and the industry trying to shut us up, so why not just take it because nobody else could do what we're doing.
Okay.
Adam then insisted that they could have reached out to him instead if they were interviewed, which led to an argument between him and Young Angel.
But I'm saying you could hit me up. If you had said, hey, let's do an interview, I would say, all right, let's book it. Let's do it right away.
If you would have called him, he would have been like, hey, let's get the interview done, but you never called.
Why is it on me to call him?
Because you said, let's clear something up.
Hit me up.
They said, let's clear something up. What's your number? That's why it's on you, buddy. Stop playing this game around in circles. That's crazy.
Yo, you gotta relax.
So, but I'm saying, what I'm saying, you got.
Young Angel may not realize it, but in most cases, people reach out to Adam to do an interview for specific reasons, such as for publicity or clout, to clear something up, or to send a message. However, Angel just probably wasn't aware of how these things went.
I guys feel entitled to, you know what I'm saying?
But it's so crazy. Why is it on me? Like, I have to be the one hitting you up. You can't be like, oh, let's get an interview. You realize like 90% of the interviews we do, it's because somebody asked me to interview them. So why did you ask for his number?
We want to know what you want to clear up.
I wanted to call him and just let him know that I had love for him and I didn't have no issues with him.
Angel got upset here because he expected No Jumper to reach out to them for an interview when the case is usually the other way around.
So he probably said, let's do an interview.
You're right. I already admitted that.
That's why
it was up that I didn't call him.
So admit that and then we're done with this conversation.
While that matter got cleared up real fast and Young Angel wanted to move on to the next topic, Adam instead questioned Angel's intention here because to him, Angel and Ralphie had already settled this matter. Yet, Angel was bringing it up again.
I feel like me and Ralphie were already kind of past that, but it feels like you just want to turn this shit up.
No, that's not I'm telling you.
You're not coming in here with a very like conciliatory vibe. Like the whole point of this should be for us to like it wasn't heated. When me and him were talking with Sean Kingston on the phone, at the beginning of this conversation, it was heated, and then by the end of it, it was chill. He walks in here, what am I doing? I give him a hug right away. Why are you trying to gas it up and make it like we're supposed to still have energy? You're being way more aggressive than he is. What is that about?
You could tell Adam was getting heated here, but he still wasn't done. He wanted to get to the bottom of what Young Angel was trying to do during this interview.
Because you trying to control his narrative for him? What is that?
No, this is the perception. We all talk about.
Let him be his own man. Let him set the tone.
We all talk together. We communicate a lot.
But you heating it up. You gassing it up. What does that serve? Why do you want to be the one coming on here and doing that?
Angel then explained that he didn't even want to be there in the first place, and Ralphie just brought him in. But Adam was still pointing out that all he was bringing to the table was heat, and he was taking the conversation away from Ralphie.
No, actually, I was asked to be on here. I didn't even want to come on here.
Okay.
Ralph said, Andre, do you want to come talk? Because
but it feels like what you're bringing to the mic right now is kind of taking us away from having a good conversation because me and Ralphie already talked about this. We already are cool. You getting way too aggressive about it.
I'll come right out with this shit. Yeah, I come right out with this shit. Yeah, I come right out with this shit.
Ralphie's barely been able to talk because you've been shouting over him the whole time.
And Angel didn't back down here. Maybe because, like everyone in that room, he was surprised at how riled up Adam was getting. WRLD tried to steer the conversation to calmer waters after this, and while Adam was starting to calm down here already, he also explained why Angel's approach angered him so much.
Another obvious reason why I didn't appreciate that. Who was one of the main people talking about Draco while he was still locked up when everybody in the industry was ignoring him? Jeff White is number one. I got to give it to him. But I was making videos about it. We were talking about it on the podcast every week. All this.
I mean, shit.
the truth. That's then. We talking about now.
Now, let's talk about that time when Flakko confronted Lush over disrespecting his last name. And this was one of those raw, unexpected scenes that took the tension of No Jumper to a whole new level. It all started with Flakko addressing Lush directly. He made it clear right from the beginning that he's proud of his last name.
Where I won't tolerate it, bro, is, yo, I got a last name, bro, and we are very prideful people, dog. Like, my last name, I would die for that, bro. You feel me? Like,
he'd added that he'd even die for it because for him, respect for his family's name wasn't up for negotiation.
Like, I would lay out and crash out for my last name, dog.
And what had pushed him to this level of frustration? Well, Lush had supposedly spread the word that Flakko had an open case and hinted it might involve something shady.
So when I see saying that I have an open case and then implying that it's something of nature, dog, I can't let that go, Lush.
According to Flakko,
feel me? Right?
When did he do that? I didn't catch that part.
Yeah. No, right? Lush told that I had an open case out and insinuating that it's something of nature. Now,
when the issue came up for Flakko, the rumors around his last name felt like a line crossed.
Now, again, bro, I cannot tolerate that. And as a man, dog, as a man, yo, win, lose, or draw, Lush, I need that fade outside, yo.
Word.
I need that fade outside, yo.
Oh.
Flakko doubled down, saying,
that's my last name you playing with, dog. Bro, it's not like that, bro.
This nigga Flakko just asked for
I did not see this coming. Flakko's been sitting here for 30 minutes. Flakko got
nah,
here
bro, that's
at
my last
12:05,
name, yo.
ready to go, and he said, and he was in a good mood. He was ready to go. He's like,
the situation kept everyone tensed. As Flakko explained, he had to protect his family's name and legacy.
A father who would die for his last name, bro. What the I look like, bro? Being somebody who sits on this platform, I don't bother nobody. I don't talk about nobody.
However, Flakko didn't even let Lush explain his side. He just walked up and asked for a fade outside.
Motto, my last name, I can't tolerate that, bro. I need my fade outside, Lush.
Cool.
Let's get it, bro.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on a sec.
Can he speak his piece? What just happened, y'all?
Now, let's move on to another No Jumper interview that got heated quickly that also involves Lush. You see, this all went down when Suspect decided to challenge Lush's freestyling skills. However, from the start, it was clear this wouldn't end on a positive note. Lush kicked things off, making it known that he couldn't turn down a challenge, as if he wasn't the one to bring up rapping in the first place.
Can't turn down a challenge, you feel me?
Nigga, you started the challenge.
No, but I didn't know that we
were
were
talking about. I can't turn down the challenge.
You
walked in here talking about rapping. What are you talking about?
You can already see Suspect getting triggered by this.
Stop doing that. You walked in here talking about rapping.
No, I didn't.
Lush, you started this.
But Lush deflected and said,
bro, I didn't say that we was going to rap today, fool. Like, I did not.
Stop. I said you walked in here talking about rapping.
However, Suspect argued that he was missing the point.
You walked in here talking about how much better you were. You've been tweeting too. What are you saying? That you better than everybody? Doing this.
But Lush went on, claiming that Suspect was taking things way too personally.
Being like a super big hater though, my boy.
Which only increased the tension in the room because Suspect got even blunter, saying,
I think you suck.
That's all good. It's all good.
That's not hate.
Look.
I just think you suck.
At this point, you could feel the frustration building even more. Lush tried to keep things calm, saying,
that I'm not saying, but like, here,
you can say whatever you think about me, bro. I don't care.
Here's the thing. Because I consider us homies, there's shit that I don't say.
But Suspect clearly wasn't having any of it. He saw this as a weak excuse, calling Lush out for making things personal and insisting he was just offended over criticism.
Like you suck, so I said it, and now you want to get all personal.
You sound like you butthurt right now.
You're butthurt as right now.
I'm telling you, bro.
You're butthurt. What the who does that?
As things escalated, Suspect got even more direct. He doubled down, telling Lush,
man, because I said trash is you can't rap, bro. That shit was ass.
Okay.
What the and you're mad at me? Talking about what you could say about me, say it. Yeah, I don't care. You suck.
But guess what? It just gets worse for Lush. Way worse. You see, another uncomfortable on-camera confrontation in No Jumper history is when Adam 22 fired Lush right in the middle of a show. Right off the bat, Adam went straight to confronting Lush.
What we on, Adam?
Lush, you lied to me.
What?
You lied to me, Lush.
About what?
Lush was trying to act like he didn't know what he was talking about.
What I just tried to talk to you about in the hall?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
Well, I got confirmation from a bunch of different people.
However, he still kept denying these accusations.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. And it looks funnier the more you lie.
He questioned him about things he allegedly shared on a Discord server.
About talking in the fucking Discord and saying crazy shit, but I never knew that you were this fucking loony with it, bro.
Adam was visibly frustrated, calling out Lush for lying and saying that he had spoken about private info Adam had shared with him personally.
Sorry?
Nah, like, I don't, like, I didn't say anything.
No, you said a lot. Like direct quotes of shit that I said only to you because I fucking trusted you.
Adam mentioned that multiple people had confirmed what Lush had said, but Lush denied everything, insisting that he hadn't disclosed anything sensitive or quoted anything from private conversations.
Made it up.
I mean, I don't know, like literally, I talked about it in the Discord, but I didn't say any quotes.
Yeah, you did. Well, then how the fuck do people know?
Bro, like, who else did you talk to about that shit?
However, Adam seemed to have too much evidence on his side to ignore.
You want to ask follow-up questions instead of addressing the fact that you're a snake, but...
Bro, I didn't say that. Like seriously.
Adam asked Lush why he thought so many people would just make up accusations. Still, Adam was convinced that he had revealed private info on other people's salary, as well as other internal issues that shouldn't have made its way into the public or any Discord discussions.
No, you did. You said a bunch of shit talking about how much people get paid and shit, bro.
No, I didn't do that. Yeah. That's complete cap. Like seriously, like we could go in the Discord and talk to those people.
As Lush continued to deny it, Adam got increasingly frustrated, accusing him of avoiding truth and accountability. However, Adam still wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I would love that. I would love to be proven wrong because the fact that I trusted you this much and that I've just had all the shit revealed to me.
I don't even know what people get paid, dude.
Finally, after pressing Lush repeatedly and hearing the same denial, Adam told him to leave, ending the heated exchange.
At least for now, maybe we could come to the bottom of this at some point, but it's probably better that you just leave.
Then, Adam turned back to the viewers, visibly disappointed, and wrapped up the moment by saying,
I did not expect this to be a narrative that was taking place today, but we got to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
But there's still more, just not with Lush. You see, in this Wild No Jumper moment, things were already tense, and Sharp was starting to heat up even more, throwing jabs across the room.
You can sit there and do that. Sit there, nigga.
I was looking at myself. I ain't taking no pictures.
At one point, he straight up told the dancer on the other side of the table that she needed to reevaluate her life.
You need to really look at yourself.
I feel like y'all watching real white boy.
However, the dancer clearly didn't get the vibe of the room and would even almost spill her drink on Sharp as Brick Baby tried to grab it, kind of implying that she had plenty of drinks already.
I'm the dead.
West side, nigga. Did that get on your pants?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Lucky be on camera, bitch.
As the intensity in the room rose, Sharp would warn the girl to stop drinking.
Reevaluate your little attitude new situation and get right. You don't need nothing else to drink right now.
You need water.
You need to chill. You got some more to drink after this.
Water and Jesus.
But it was Brick's next move that took things to the next level. What turned into a joke became a reality.
Water and Jesus. Give her something to drink.
Holy water. No. If y'all shout out to God.
Don't,
Shout out to Jesus Christ.
I know you will.
And without any hesitation, he poured his drink all over the dancer, daring her to react.
Whoa, she done lost her mind.
You just tripping.
Damn, take it. You want it, take it.
Brick doubled down, telling her,
I just told you, stop playing with me.
I didn't even play.
Stop playing with me.
and in the end, Sharp tried to calm things down by saying, however, the dancer simply had enough.
It's already together. I'm not gonna go back, nigga.